Okay, so now we're back at 1.5 megs on the TS430, connected up to the dummy load, and there you can see our capacitor and our 50 microhenry choke, and still connected to the light bulb. So I'm going to transmit with that, bring it up so that it's at least at least 10 volts peak to peak there on the scope, and I'm going to start sweeping up again. So here we're at 3.2. Oh, look at that. That's starting to glow a bit. I'm at 3.6, and I've got a lot of RF going in there, so I'm going to back it down some. I don't want to burn out the light bulb. So I'll be able to tell where the peak is. Oops, it's just barely glowing there. Turned up the frequency, it glows brighter. Turned down the power, it glows dim. Turn up the frequency. I'll just keep doing that until I reach a point where it's at its maximum. The trouble is that when you start getting into resonant circuits, the foldback on the TS430, the SWR protection circuit, varies the power some, so it's kind of hard to keep the power just at the same place. So there's where the peak is. And I'm sitting at 4.155 megahertz. So that's pretty close to what we expected. So then if I'll turn up the power just a little bit to get more glow, and then I'll sweep up through the rest of the frequencies all the way up to 30 megahertz and see if there's any other resonant frequencies for this choke and capacitor combination. Sitting about 9 megahertz now, still going up, and just as a side thing here, you can see that as I sweep up in frequency, the power varies as the various low pass filters are kicked in and out, and as long as it stays above the 10 volts peak to peak, it should give a good indication on the light bulb. Sitting about 15 megahertz now, and about 18 megahertz there, and the light bulb still has not glowed at any other spots other than the 4.1 megahertz. Continue to go up, 22 megahertz. 24 megahertz. Continuing the sweep. 27 megahertz. And 30 megahertz. So turn off my RF there. So there you can see that using your transmitter, your ham-band transmitter, and hooking it to a dummy load, and this little circuit with putting the choke in series, that you can test and see if your homemade choke has any problematic series resonance features which would make it bad for your circuit.